Hello, Aries, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs looking at your connection to the person that you are needing to learn the most from right now. We're looking at all three sides of it. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for each side of the connection, and then we have a different tarot deck that will be diving into each side as well. I do encourage you to remember that these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. If you end up resonating with the energy to my right and to my left, that's absolutely fine and also very normal, especially if you're a cross watcher. You could definitely resonate more with the energy to my left than to my right. But yeah, please remember these are general readings. Take what resonates, leave what does not, and please remember these will not resonate fully for everyone. All right. On your side of this connection, Aries, you have shadow with transmute. So this connection is very triggering. But the triggers that are being brought up through this connection are there to help you transmute the bad into the good. You know, when we are experiencing triggers, it's sometimes, it's easy to get very lost in those triggers and to feel like we're drowning in the emotion or the experience of the trigger itself, when in reality, the trigger is there to uncover something deeper within ourselves. And this connection in particular pokes at that unhealed part of you that maybe doesn't believe you deserve love or has, kind of jaded or limiting beliefs around love. And the purpose of that is to bring it to the surface so that those can be transmuted into healing, essentially, into which would eventually lead to better experiences for yourself. Now, this person, their side of this connection is death with transformation. So it kind of feels like they're needing to go through a pretty big personal transformation in order to match your energy in this connection. And I feel like that will include, or does include, or would need to include some ego deaths here. So I'm not sure what this person's energy is. It'll be interesting to kind of take a look there. But I do definitely feel like this person, this connection is kind of pushing this person to have to undergo some personal transformation of the transformations of self. Now, in between this connection, you have soulmate with air. Now, soulmate, remember that word, especially in the tarot world today, has gotten so convoluted, I think is a good way to say that, like the meaning of it. And, the soulmate connections, like what I see when I see this card is that connections that you have a strong pull to. Does that mean that that person is supposed to be in your life forever? No. Does it mean that that is the only time you are ever going to feel that kind of love or intensity with another person? No. But I do definitely feel like this has that soulmate-esque kind of energy to it. But then you have this air card, which means that the like outcome or the long-term purpose of it is still very much up in the air, meaning that there is no certainty in any form, especially when, this whole concept that people have these days with twin flames and believing that there's one specific person for them, it gets people attaching to the idea that another person belongs to them. And that just within itself is a very unhealthy way of viewing connection. So keep in mind when I bring up the term soulmate, I'm really just talking about the strong connection within itself. I am not labeling this person as your one and only soulmate. Now, I'm really interested to take a look into this energy because I do feel like the purpose of this connection is bigger than you think it is, specifically because of the way that it is it's triggering you. But let's see, Aries, let's start by looking at your side of this connection. This is Aries' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Aries' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with, please. Woo, okay. I feel, Aries, someone walked away in this. It's either you or them. Someone walked away or is thinking of it. Because this Eight of Wands in reverse to me is like, actually, no, that's coming through in a different, I was going to say like confusion, but it's kind of coming through in like as slow movement. it's like this connection is slowly, there's a distance slowly being created in this connection, phasing it out almost. I feel like you know that you deserve more than this. The High Priestess and the Justice in reverse. And that is a really cool energy to see. Knowing, like being able to look at something and say, I know that I'm not getting what I deserve out of this. And then actually deciding to take action from that belief. So I feel like that's where you're at with this High Priestess. I feel like you're kind of sitting in your High Priestess energy. You're seeing that that you're deserving of more than this. And I feel like you're deciding to try to align your actions with that belief, which is really good. That's a really good energy to be in. All right, Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Okay. Okay, that's cool then. Because then you have the Justice and the Eight of Wands. The more that you choose to leave behind what isn't right for you and what doesn't serve you, the more that you will start to see things that you are deserving of come your way. But you have to heal from and fully release yourself from the experiences that you didn't, deserve in order to receive what you do. So this person and the triggers associated are actually giving you an opportunity to show the universe that you choose more for yourself. And that is, it's good. Aries side of this connection. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Okay. So there you are, the Queen of Wands. There's a little bit of second guessing yourself here with the Two of Wands in reverse and the Three of Cups in reverse. And I feel like maybe that's because this person could be a source of your community. Like they help you not feel so alone, or like, they're a part of like your weekend plans. So you're afraid that if they're not in your life, and that's just an example, but like they're a part of your community, of how you spend your time. And so it's scary to think that walking away from it is good, because then like, well, what if I'm alone, or what if I don't know, like what if I don't have anything to do, or I don't know. It's like they're associated with how you fill your time. And you obviously have enjoyed certain times with them, right? Or you wouldn't have invested in this at all. But I feel like it's gotten to the point where the bad outweighs the good. But you are still kind of second guessing your decision here. And I feel like it's because of that aspect, like because of the fact that they've been such a big part of your life. Not necessarily for a long time. It doesn't have to be for a long time. It could be. But they are. They're just kind of a big part of how you spend your time. Aries side of this connection, please. The fear. It's the fear of it. Fear is kind of keeping you from second guessing yourself a little bit. Maybe a lot of it. Because this connection keeps you running from the fear associated with, like, say you're in a relationship that you know doesn't really serve you, but walking away from it, you'd have to face the fear of being alone. So this connection keeps you running from the fear. So you're settling and choosing it because the fear, and maybe you're not fully, but like that's kind of this battle that you're having with yourself right now, is this fear. If you feel yourself second guessing yourself and you're like, well, why would I ever choose to, not choose myself? It's like this fear is keeping you from making the decision that's best for you, or did keep you, or has kept you from making a decision that's best for you because of the fear of the unknown, or the big fears, right? Like the fear of being alone, or never being loved, or whatever the case is. And those are just fears, right? They're not truth. They're just fears, and you do have to face them. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Aries side of this connection, please. Ten of Wands. But see, this connection's a burden for you. it's more of a burden than it is a blessing, and it's burning you out. You're tired of the way it makes you feel. You're tired of the way it makes you feel. Now, there might be a little bit of an attachment because you're attached to this person or the outcome of this connection because of the fear, right? Attachment is a fear-based energy. So if you're attached to it, it's because you fear not having it. Not necessarily you fear not having this specific connection, but you fear not having a connection that's similar because of deeper seated fears. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Aries side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Ooh, okay. A little bit more here. Page of Swords with the Nine of Cups. Can I get more on this? Ooh, okay. This is a specific message. I don't think it's for everyone. But it's saying that if this person is associated with your stability, financial or material stability, and you feel like you have to keep them around in order to be financially stable, you don't. That you would be able to support yourself. You don't need this person to be financially stable. Now you might be saying, yes, I do. Like, what are my options? There's always a way. There's always a way out. There's always a way through. I don't know what the answer to that is right now, but I can tell you that you don't want to limit yourself to staying in something that doesn't serve you because you feel like you have to, because you never have to do anything. You always have a choice. All right, let's get this person side of the connection. You have Death with Transformation. Let's see what their energy towards you is, Aries. This person's energy toward Aries, please. Ooh. This person's energy toward Aries. Oh. You trigger them too. I think the difference is, though, you actually experience those triggers and this person pushes them down. So I feel like in doing that, it can come up in other ways through maybe their communication with you or passive aggressiveness or something like that. You definitely trigger this person too. This person's energy to Aries, please. Person's energy to Aries, please. Ooh, okay. I feel like they have a little bit of like, I said this in another reading today. I don't remember what reading it was, but like a false sense of confidence. In the sense that they really, really like their ego. But I don't think they really like who they really are. And that's why this ego death is coming through so much, because this person is going to continue to act from the place of their ego until they are put through some sort of a transformation here. Now, we can't make people change. People don't change because we want them to, or shame, like if we shame them into it. You can't really ever show someone they need to change. They have to see it for themselves. And I don't really think this person sees anything wrong with their actions. This person's energy toward Aries. Or if they do, they certainly don't show it. Queen of Swords in reverse with the High Priestess in reverse. they have their heart closed off. And they certainly have a hard time hearing themselves, like listening to themselves. Like their intuition, or, you know, like opening themselves up to love, or whatever the case is. They definitely have their heart closed off here. And I feel like you know that, though. I feel like nothing that I'm telling you is much of a surprise. This person's energy toward Aries, please. But there's the triggers again. Knight of Cups in reverse. Actually think you'd be kind of surprised if you knew how emotional this connection made this person. But like, I feel like they hide it so well, clarifying the Knight of Cups. But they always have with the Six of Cups. They always have hid their emotion. Not just from others, but from themselves too. And I feel like that's because they struggle with vulnerability. Again, right? They come from a place of ego, not necessarily soul connection. This person's energy toward Aries, please. This person's energy toward Aries. Ten of Wands. See, this is alluding to this Ten of Wands because that came out and I immediately, oh, see, this is my card for like coming from a place of ego. And then you have this Ten of Wands, which to me is like you bear the burden of them being a little bit egotistical, which is why this is saying they'd have to go through some sort of a ego death before they would be able to match your energy here. So I feel like the triggers in this connection stem from this person having a little bit of a large ego. Maybe gets a little easily bruised. This person's energy toward Aries. I don't think they're a bad person. I think anyone who, you know, the ego, our ego is nothing to be ashamed of. It's a part of us that is there to protect us. It's there, it's put in place to protect us, right? It's our natural protection mechanism. And when someone has a tendency to act more from ego than from soul and spirit, it's because they are in protection mode. They feel like they need to protect themselves from the people and situations around them, and they, you know, they don't know how to be vulnerable because they don't feel safe to be vulnerable. Now, you can have all the empathy in the world for these people, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to bear the burden of that side of them, right? Unconditional love does not equal unconditional tolerance. And that's just something to be aware of, right? It's not, again, it's not saying that this person is like a bad person or anything like that. Just that maybe like, I don't know, there's more to why they act the way they do than I think you realize. All right, this person's energy toward Aries. Ooh. This person's stuck in a fear cycle that has existed since they were a kid here. So they could have experienced great loss, or maybe didn't really experience love and affection as a kid, or whatever the case might be. And that keeps them stuck in this karmic cycle. Now, hurt people, right? And that's what this is saying. You're carrying the burden of the hurt that they've experienced. That is not fair to you. Is not fair to you, Aries. But if you feel like there's not a way out, or maybe you don't want a way out, just make sure that you're not loving somebody else over yourself. That's the biggest thing here. You want to make sure that you're not loving somebody else more than you love yourself. You know, you can be, like I said, you can love someone unconditionally and have as much empathy for them as possible as you want, but make sure that you don't relate unconditional love to unconditional tolerance. All right, Aries, thank you so much, as always, for the support of my channel. We're going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to pull 9 different messages, and then I have an advice card to pull at the end. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. Bye, Aries.